Watkins makes a nuisance of himself on Matthias, whose header out is met on the volley by Goss, and Alman stood and admired that. That's how good the shot was. Rob Newman plays it in. Matthias backpedaling, heads it up into the air, and Jeremy Goss, just look at that.
Hi guys, welcome to my first episode of On the Ball City. Just a quick intro into why I'm doing this episode. So if you didn't know, Bidstack held a Football Manager World Esports competition recently named FMWEC, and basically at this event 64 people from all around the world. We have people from Brazil, Hungary, Portugal, France, Ireland. Everyone was at this tournament. And basically what it involved was Sports Interactive basically set up teams on a USB stick, put them in a hat. Each player got to randomly pick their team out of the hat, and then after picking their USB, they had half an hour to evaluate the squad and create their tactics and work out their starting lineup and their squads. And then we went into tournament mode. Basically, the top two that finished in the group went into essentially a Champions League, and the bottom two went into essentially a Europa League, which was called the Plate. And basically, from that stage, it then went into knockout stages, and that's where it got interesting. So from that, I ended up playing, I think it was 8 or 9 games in total. I was undefeated, and I went all the way to the final, and I won. Whee! So, yeah, I am officially the Football Manager World Esports Champion. And one of the experiences that has come about because of it, because it was obviously sponsored by Bidstack, who work with Norwich. Norwich have got a game coming up on the 20th of May in commemoration of their 92-93 European Cup run, which, I don't know if you've seen it, but they famously beat Bayern Munich until they got to the next round, where they unfortunately lost to Inter Milan. But to commemorate that, Inter Milan Legends will be coming to Carrow Road on May the 20th to play Norwich City Legends. And I have the privilege, as part of the experience from winning FMWEC, to be the manager for Norwich Legends. And I get to meet and manage Bryan Gunn, Darren Huckerby, Sutton, and I get to play against people like Toldo, Zanetti. Well, I don't get to play against, but I get to manage and see and potentially meet Toldo, Zanetti, Bertie, Klinsmann, Maicon, and the list goes on. They're still finalising names, but all the legends are going to be there. It's going to be a great day, and if you do want to come and watch it, as you can see above me, Norwich City Legends versus In It Forever. It's on May the 20th at Carrow Road. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. It's a Sunday, and the tickets are only £9.93. Why £9.93, you ask? Well, it's because 1993 is the year. That's why they've done it. And then obviously under 18s is only £1.93. So you get some bargain tickets, and you get to watch some absolute legends of the game. You get to watch me manage, and you get to see if a football manager can become a real manager. Yeah, so if you want to see how I won FMWEC and won this amazing opportunity and experience to manage Norwich Legends versus Inter Legends, then please check out my YouTube channel. It's Fryman7, and I've got videos on there of how I won the group stages and how I won the knockout stages. I've got my final to come out. I'm still in the process of editing that, but please stay tuned. So yeah, because of this amazing opportunity, I thought, why not do a save in Football Manager and try and get Norwich City back to the years that they are commemorating at this charity game, and see if we can get Norwich back into Europe. That is the challenge. So I've started a game up as Norwich, so let's see how that goes. And as you see, Fry takes charge at Norwich. So the Norwich board have confirmed today the appointment of Daniel Fry as the new boss at Carrow Road. So looking at our current transfer activity prior to joining the club, we've got quite a few players that have gone out on loan. But the guys that have come in, let's see how they are. So we've got Norwich Legends. So he is a German attacking centre defensive midfield. He can play anywhere in the centre of midfield. He's pretty good, to be honest. He's got a good first touch. Passing's okay. He's got good technique, good flair. A few things he could work on here. Physically, he could be a bit better, but he's got good agility. And overall for a midfielder, he's pretty good. So there's number one. We've got obviously Angus Gunn, Bryan Gunn's son. Absolute legend of the game. He's got some pretty good stats there. Jumping reach, aerial reach, reflexes, kicking. He's only 21 years old, so he should get better. So it'd be good to see how he develops. We've got Marcus Edwards on loan from Spurs, so unless he's good, I might have to send him back. 18 years old, dribbling 16, passing 11, technique 13, flair 16, pace 14, agility. So he's pretty good actually. So despite his Tottenham links, I will keep him. And Harrison Reed from Southampton, 22 years old, defensive midfielder, centre mid, defensive mid. But this season, when I went to watch Norwich versus Cardiff, he played at right back and he done a pretty good job. So I think he's someone that can do it for the team. He can play in different positions where it's needed. Yeah, teamwork 16, so he's happy to play wherever. Work rate 19, tackling 13, passing 13. So again, he's one that could definitely improve. 4-star potential ability. And that is our current players in. We've got a couple of players out injured long term. Lewis Thompson, centre midfielder, can play in defence as well. He's a pretty good player, so we'll be looking forward to it for him to come back. A ball-winning midfielder by trade. Used to play for Swindon. He must be quite injury prone though, because he's only played 3 games in the last 4 years. However, he's 22, he's young. Let's see how he gets on after his injury. Tim Closer, very good defender from Switzerland, 29 years old. He's got some very good stats. His pace is more than what I expected, to be fair, but very good in the air. Jumping reach 18, heading 16, so we'll definitely be putting this man up for corners. Tackling 14, marking 13. So as a defender, very good. And then Matt Jarvis, 31 years old. Not too bad. He's got good pace, good crossing, okay passing technique. Very much a winger. Used to play for West Ham. He's been at Norwich for the last 3 years. So Norwich's history, they basically founded in 1902. They're currently in the Sky Bet Championship. Last year they finished 8th. Our aim this season is to get promoted, so whether that's the playoff or automatic, that will be our aim. The club currently play their home games at Carrow Road. We've got good facilities, good youth, good, great training facilities as well, which is good. If you didn't know, Norwich, their nickname is the Canaries, and they have a fierce rivalry with the Tractor Boys. A fierce rivalry with Ipswich Town. So, obviously, like I've said before, they've had their best spell was where they had a good run in Europe in '93, where they knocked out Bayern Munich. The year before that, I believe they came second in the league. They were very close to winning it. And that was when it became the Premier League, when it first became the Premier League. So that was when I remember watching them. So let's have a look at their honours. So they've won the Sky Bet Championship 3 times. They won the Carabao Cup twice. So that could be another little aim that we have this season. Sky Bet League 1 they've won once. And English Southern Premier League and twice, and the English Third Division South once. So yeah, if you look here, it doesn't mention anything about Europe in this, but obviously, it was 3rd place that they came in '93, but they done very well. That was quite a while ago, but then the most recent success is 2010 when they won the Sky Bet League 1. So I believe that's when they got relegated from the league and then from the championship, but then they came straight back up, and I believe that was the year that they won that. So no trophies for 8 years. Let's see if we can change that this season. If we look at the key employees, Ben Godfrey is a hot prospect and a very good one at that as well. Defensive midfielder. I seem to have a lot of good defensive midfielders, so we might have to play a bit of a different formation than what I normally do. Good tackling, good marking, good passing. Overall, he's a very good player. You might see him in the first team. Tim Close is the key player. We've already looked at him. Ivo Pinto, vice captain. He plays at right back. Pretty good stats. Good pace. Crossing could be better, but he's good at dribbling. He's good off the ball. Good work rate. And stamina is good as well. So as a right back, he is very good. Captain is Russell Martin. So Russell Martin, 31 years old. Again, he's got very good stats. However, Russell Martin is on loan at Rangers, so he's not going to be getting any games this season for us. And potentially we might look to sell him at the end of the season as well. We'll see how we go on. But that will mean he'll be 32 when he comes back. And then if we look at the facilities, we've got a 27,000 capacity stadium. It was built in 1935. We've got undersoil heating. Now this is one I wanted to show you. Look at the legends. Darren Huckerby, he's going to be playing. Darren Eadie, he's going to be playing. Ewan Roberts, he's going to be playing. Dion Dublin, I don't know about that one yet. Duncan Forbes, Adam Drury, he's going to be playing. All these guys, I will keep you updated whether they are going to be in the Legends game. But then if we look across as well, we've got a few other people that should be in it. We've got Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton will be there. And yeah, when I find out some more names, I will let you guys know. But that is a brief look at the history, the club. Let's have a look at the finances. What have we got to work with? So we've got a transfer budget of 1 million. 80% of any transfer revenue will be made available, and we've got a wage budget of 489,000, but we're currently spending 480. So we've only got 9,000 left. A pretty hefty $500,000 scouting budget. So that's pretty good. Our main kit sponsor, we get 1.7 million for a season, 200,000 a season for our stadium, and then 150 in additional kit sponsorships. So I'm looking at our projection of our finances, our balance. We're looking at end of this season to be minus 25 million. So one of my targets will be to get Norwich into a clear balance. I don't want this to be red. Obviously, the next season potential is 45, or the projection is minus 45 million and then minus 60 million. So the way I want to set Norwich up is basically no losses of money. I want to invest players, but I mainly will probably invest in youth and look to get in certain players. I think the way that we're going to get most of our money is probably by selling players, and then we'll have to do well in competitions to get this money, which we'll have a look at. We'll see how much we could potentially earn through competitions this season. Total wage costs, I think we're going to need to cut that 30 million for the season. Obviously, I'm not expecting to not have any players and cut that completely, but if I could shave a couple of million off there, then obviously it will help for my total balance. And then transfer budget, again, I don't think I'm going to spend too much apart from what money I'm going to make, but we will see. So let's have a look. So looking at the competitions and the board's expectations, in the Sky Bet Championships, we're expected to reach the playoffs. So they're in line with my targets. Obviously, I want to get promotion, but reaching the playoffs should be the minimum expectation. In the FA Cup, 4th place. And then in the Carabao Cup, the cup that we've won twice, the expectation is that we at least reach the 3rd round. And we're starting off with Newport County. So we should get a victory in that one, I would have thought. So if we have a look at how much money we can gain through our finished season. Okay, so having a look at how much we can win. This is very surprising. The prize money for finishing first is only 50,000 and second place is 25,000. No one below that gets money for finishing in the league. The top 2 teams win promotion. If we get promoted, then obviously you can see a massive jump in prize money there. Even finishing bottom, 1.8 million is what you could win. Looking at the Carabao Cup, it doesn't look like there's any reward for winning the Carabao Cup, apart from getting a trophy. And then if you look at the FA Cup, the winner prize money is only £4,500 as well. So looking at it, this is the first time that I've looked at the prize money for these competitions, and they are a lot lower than I would have thought. So let's have a look at our staff and see what we've got. So we've got 4 on the coaching team. We can potentially have 8. So this is going to be something that I look at. I'm going to need to get a few new faces in. I will evaluate what the current coaches are like and see what we can do. But if you look at the league, in terms of goalkeeper training, we're the worst. And then one of the worst. I know we are the worst. And look at the other ones, we're not very much better than the other teams. So that is something that we need to improve. In terms of scouting, we've got 13 on the team, 6 scouts, 5 data analysts. We're above average. We're 4th in the league, 5th in the league, and 5th. So scouting-wise, we're not too bad, but maybe if we can make a couple of changes there and improve that, maybe we can be picking up some extra bargains along the way. And then the medical staff, we have 4 on the team. We can have 7. Obviously, if we max these teams out, then it's going to take our wage budget up a bit. But if I have a few less players and more coaching staff, that's the way I work. I like to have a good coaching team that can develop the first team squad and the youth team, and I'd rather have a smaller squad to do so. So that is that. Again, if you look at the physios, 13th in the league, so about mid-table for our physios. Hopefully we can get some guys on board that can really look after our injured players and keep everyone fit. So yeah, that's basically our coaching staff. I'll be looking at changing a few faces, potentially bringing in some new coaches, and there's a lot of improvement needed, especially in this coaching area. So I'll be looking into which coaches I can get, which coaches will be going. So that is our staff. Our assistant manager is Edmund Reimer. So we're going to call this guy Eddie. That's going to be his nickname for this one. So defensively, he's pretty good, but everything else, he's not great. 12 for determination, 11 man management is okay, but in assistant manager, you want a guy that's going to be able to have good ability of judging player ability and player potential, and a good motivator, and good working with youngsters as well. And he's neither, so I don't think this guy is going to stick around. We've got a head of youth development, Steve Weaver, 2-star Continental Pro, but 18 adaptability, 16 motivation. Okay at judging players. We'll see what's on the market. He used to work at Huddersfield, Wolves, Wrexham. So we'll see what's on the market. Again, not fantastic stats there. A few areas that are good, but the rest drop it down a bit. And then Christian Floofman. So I'm going to call him Fluffy. Fluffy has 15 for technical ability, or technical coaching, 14 for adaptability. Again, he's not fantastic. He was a youth coach at Dortmund, worked with Daniel Farkart. But yeah, we'll see. Again, we'll see what coaches are on the market and what we can do with that coaching team. Obviously, having the worst coaching team in the league is not going to help us get promoted. So some changes will be needed there. So we've looked at the staff. Let's have a look at the team report by Eddie and see what he thinks of the team. So we'll start off by looking at our strengths. So our youth prospects, we've got a lot of good youth players. Jamal Lewis, so he's got good pace, 19 years old. He's in the first team at the moment actually, but we'll see how he develops. He's not fantastic standout stats, but he looks like a pretty good all-rounder. Aston Oxborough, no relation to the Ox, but good jump and reach, good aerial ability. Let's see how he develops. Again, a good youngster, potential to be 3.5 stars. And then Lewis McIntosh, so attacking midfielder, Pretty good finishing, good free kicks. Needs to improve on his passing. He's got good pace though. And again, it'll be interesting to see how he develops. 18 years old, 3.5-star potential. Grant Hanley is one of the best 5 players. So yeah, Grant Hanley is very good. 16 heading, 15 tackling, 15 jumping, 17 strength. He is a solid centre-back. Scottish, 25, 3.5 stars. So yeah, defensively, pretty good. Grant Hanley, superb at centre-back. Alex Tettey, defensive midfielder. We've got a lot of options in centre mid and defensive mid, which is what I mentioned earlier. Good marking, good tackling, OK passing. 31 years old though, so he's coming to the end of his career. Josh Murphy on the left wing, very good player, got good dribbling stats, good pace. So he's definitely someone that we can use. Finishing is pretty good as well, 12. So again, 22 years old is someone that we can develop. Ivo Pinto good at right back, and impressive standard of passing quality among the group. Okay, so our passing's pretty good. Let's have a look at our weaknesses. So the transfer budget is the main one. There's only 1 million left, so not much room for a manoeuvre. So we're going to have to probably sort out some loans and some cheap players. We potentially need to look in goal and at left back. They're the 2 areas that have been identified. So when we're looking for players, that is an area that we'll probably look for. Leadership. There's currently a leadership void in the squad, so no one really willing to step up and drive the players. So we might have to address that situation as well. We've got quite low levels of aggression and commitment in the squad, and jumping wise, we're not the best. So probably be very unlikely that we go for long balls or crosses, depending on what the strikers are like. Again, teamwork is not the best either, so that's something we will need to improve. Some players aren't the strongest physically, and the whole squad could do with improving. So teamwork, strength, work rate is something we're going to need to work on in training. The squad ranks in the bottom third of the competition for work rate. So it's something I'm going to need to look at if we're going to get Norwich up into the Premiership, because you're going to need to work hard to get there. And finally, our wage budget is, we've only got 8,000 left. So again, there's not much room. Like I said, it's enough to get a backup player, and I don't want to get backup players. I want to improve the squad. We've already got a big squad. So let's have a look at the squad depth. If we quickly look at the squad depth map here, you can see in the forward and attacking areas, we've got plenty of options. But as soon as it gets into defence, this is an area that could do with improvement. So we'll have a look at the squad depth. I'm going to look in all positions at current ability first. Yeah, in all positions, current ability first, because I don't know what formation I'm going to play yet. I need to have a look at the players. Michael McGovern and Angus Gunn, both 3 stars. And then we look at left backs, so James Husband and Steeperman. Again, they're both 3 stars, so we'll have to look into who's the better of them two. Centre backs, Grant Hanley and Tim Close are very good. You got Carl Zimmerman very close behind, and right back might be an area we need to look at as well, because Ivo Pinto is obviously our best player, and then Grant Hanley, who's our centre back, is the second best choice. So we don't really want him playing out of position. I'm probably not going to play wing backs. I never really play wing backs, so I'm not going to look too much at that. But again, it's the same as these ones, as the right back and left back positions. Defensive midfield is an area that we seem fully stocked on. Alex Tettey and Tom Tribal, both 3.5 stars. We've got Mario Ranic, Harrison Reed, both on 3 stars as well. And then if we push further forwards in centre midfield, again, Tettey and Tribal, 3.5 stars, and Lewis Thompson and Ranic and Leitner, all on 3 stars. So we've got a lot of choice in the centre there. Right wing, left wing, Onel Hernandez is the clear winner there. Matt Jarvis, the clear winner on that side. Again, it's unlikely that we're going to play wingers there. And if you look at the players, they look probably best off with Josh Murphy left wing, 3.5 stars there. Matt Jarvis is 3, and then the rest are 2.5. Attacking midfielder, you've got James Maddison, very good player here, James Maddison. Again, his stats match that on the game. He's only 20 years old. I'll have a look at his history because he used to play for Coventry. I believe Spurs were after him, but he decided to join Norwich for 3 million. He had a loan to Aberdeen. He's done very well, and then this season he's been very good for them. And then obviously we've got the legend of Wes Hoolahan, 16 passing, 15 technique, 16 dribbling, 16 flair. It's just his physicality. It's just his physical stats that are letting him down. So it might be a case, now he's 35 years old, we need to be quite lenient with him in training. On the right, Anel Hernandez and Marley Watkins. And then up front, you've got Nelson Oliveira, 3.5 stars. He's a clear winner. Marley Watkins is the clear one after that. And then we've got Denis Shreveni, who, if you've not seen it, he signed for the Trequartista for FC Magdeburg in the second division of German football in his second season. So I'm not sure if he will cut it in this league, but we will see. We'll see how he does. Target man, 23 years old, he's still young. Potential ability is 3, so not much improvement, but I'm sure that we could use his key stats to our advantage. So yeah, they're basically our current ability. Quickly looking at the potential ability. James Maddison can play as striker, so can Josh Murphy. And it doesn't look like there's any players upcoming that could potentially take that role. Marcus Edwards, left wing, very good, but again, he's on loan. So he definitely one for the future, but I doubt it will be with us. Centre midfield, you've got Louis Thompson. Oh, sorry, it's gone to a 4-2-3-1 formation. It's probably going to be the formation that we play. It's been recommended by Eddie, but then, look at that. Anel Hernandez, he can improve a bit on the right of midfield, but Louis Thompson, Tribal can both go up to 4 stars. So these guys, we're going to have to try and get as many games as possible where we can to really develop their game. Defensive midfield, again the same. Tom Tribal defensive there. Louis Thompson 3.5. So Louis Thompson also is better as a centre midfielder. He's got more chance of progressing there. And then in defence, no real improvement. So we're going to have to look there as well. James Husband improves a little bit, goes up to 3.5 star, but we're definitely going to need to make some changes. And Angus Gunn has potential because obviously he's young to be better than Michael McGovern, but we'll see how we get on there. So, looking at our fixtures. Okay, so looking at our friendlies, we've got our under-23s. I always like playing them for 3 reasons, or 4 reasons, sorry. 1, fitness. 2, I can see my current squad. 3, I can see my under-23s, my youth, my backup players. And 4, just to build up their confidence, because you should normally get a win against your under-23s. If you don't, then there's something wrong with your team or your tactics. Then we've got Anderlecht a few weeks later, so we might be able to get in a few more friendlies before this. I normally like playing quite a few. And we've got Anderlecht at home, and then we go away, I believe in Germany, to SC Wiener Neustadt, First Vienna FC 1894, SV Mattersburg, and SV Horn. So we've got a little tour going on there. So we've got these friendlies, and then we start off the season with a tough game against Fulham away. Fulham must be one of the favourites. Then we've got Newport County, and then Sunderland. To be fair, we've got some big games coming up. So what I'll do in the next save is I'll probably introduce you to any changes I've made. Obviously, I'm going to look to get some transfers and change the coaching staff around. And then we'll play the Fulham game. And then after that, maybe I'll get a couple of games in against Newport and Sunderland. And probably come back for the Aston Villa game after that as well. So there's a few games that I want to watch. That's the trouble with the Championship. There's a lot of good sides in there. So there's going to be a lot of games that I want to watch. But obviously I can't play too many. But yeah, that'll be the plan. The next save, we'll play the Fulham game after introducing you to any changes that I've made. And before we go, we're going to have a look to see how the media believe we're going to do. So Aston Villa favourites to go up at 4-1. You've got Wolves at 5-1 at second. Middlesbrough 6-1, and then they should be the clear favourites. And then we're in fourth at 33-1. So a lot of expectation on us to get promoted. You've got Derby, Hull, Leeds, Fulham, Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff behind us as well. Sunderland mid-table. And the favourites to go down are Burton, Barnsley and Millwall. So we will see how we got on there. I don't believe we've got any key players listed there. James Madison, Tim Closer. But none in the Media Dream 11. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you've liked this, I know there's been a lot of talking in this one, but obviously there's a lot to introduce you to and brief about the start of the season. But the next one we will get some games in. And thank you for watching. If you do like it, please subscribe to the channel at Fryman7. Again, just a brief one on this Norwich City Legends game. If you can make it, please attend. It should be a massive crowd. You see some legends in action. It's only £9.93 if you're over 18, £1.93 if you're under 18. You can order tickets from www.canaries.co.uk. Very easy. And yeah, I hope to see you there. Have a good day.